So I just came from watching Havoc. Havoc is a new film on Netflix that stars Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy is playing a police officer called Patrick Walker. And the premise of the story is that Patrick Walker is investigating this drug deal gone wrong. There's a triad in this city, a Chinese triad that is dealing with some drugs, and then this drug trade goes wrong. And the leader of that triad is this young man, so his mom comes looking to see who killed his young man, and well, there ends up being this huge collision between the triad and the police officers of this city. The movie opens up with this generic action scene. So many Netflix films always begin with this generic car chase opener. Like, that's how you know the movie is going to follow a generic formula for Netflix movies. If it begins with a generic action car chase, you know Netflix is using their regular AI. And then the other issue I had with this film is shaky cam. The amount of shaky cam whenever there is action scenes is so annoying to some extent, it even made me nauseous. The dialogue, it ranges from okay to very bad. Like in the opener, there's this part where Tom Hardy's character, Patrick, he goes to buy a gift for his daughter. And then everyone is like, oh, look at you buying a gift for your daughter. You must be father of the year. And then he calls his estranged wife. And then the wife is like, oh, father of the year. And like, why are you having this repetitive dialogue? There's also this scene where this triad member, he's holding this woman hostage. And then this police officer shows up and she's like, put your weapon down, get down, freeze. And then the triad member is like, fuck you, cop. He literally says, fuck you, cop. The dialogue was, some places it was okay, but it's pretty bad in a lot of other places. Apart from these negatives, that there was a lot of good acting. Some good acting from Forest Whitaker, some good acting from Tom Hardy, some good acting from this Asian mom lady. I thought that those three at least were very good actors, especially like this scene where you see Forest Whitaker, he gets attacked in his car. I mean, look at the look of fear in his eyes here. I thought that was pretty good. The movie surprised me with the amount of gore that it was trying to put on your screen. The amount of bullet holes and blood spraying in every direction. This will probably put off a lot of people, and some people might like it, some people might not mind it, some people might think that's what makes a good action film, but I just thought it was a bit excessive. Some good cinematography, some nice shots like this play, like look here. This scene of the sun rising, there's a part where Tom Hardy's character is getting attacked and the camera is kind of upside down. I thought that was nice. In the beginning, they put way too many characters. Like they just keep forwarding you way too many characters. It's always better if you just have the main character, maybe like 2-3 other characters around him, some secondary members, and like 2-3 other characters around him. You know, like Tom Hardy, who he works with, and maybe a friend, and then his wife, a daughter, and maybe a friend, you know, something like that. But don't just throw so many characters in like the first 30 minutes. It will make it hard for us to care, for us as the audience to care about everyone. The action is pretty intense in this film, but something I noticed is the bullets of the bad guys never hit their mark properly. Like there's this scene where Tom Hardy gets into a car and then he's driving away and his car is being pelted by bullets. And the car just appears on the highway, safe and sound, and it's still mobile. With the amount of bullets that were put in that car should have a flat tire, broken windows, a hood that is smoking. But you know, there's even this scene in the third act. Someone is shooting from the floor. And I think they're like in the basement or something, and they're shooting above, and Tom Hardy's character is up there, and like nobody even catches a bullet, and you're shooting from underneath. Surely someone should have caught a bullet or two. I noticed that the bad guys, when they shoot, it never really hurts anyone properly, but when the good guys shoot, they're always on point. Like Tom Hardy will be inside the house and then shoot someone who's outside, and then like shoot them, and boom, like the first bullet will get them. I just found it to be very inconsistent. Netflix does not know how to make a good film and do character writing, because they are just depending on the fact that it's a famous actor, so they don't have to do the character writing. I've realized they put a famous actor and they're like, this is Tom Hardy. You know Tom Hardy, right? So we don't have to develop his character that much. This is Forest Whitaker. He's like a mayor type candidate. And he's Forest Whitaker. We don't have to do much character writing. That's the way the whole movie plays out. The character writing is very shallow, and I'm assuming it's because the actors are famous faces. So the Netflix and those who wrote this don't feel the need to have a movie with proper character writing. The movie has no real climax. The movie has no real climax. Yes, the movie has a beginning, middle, and end, but in the end section, the fight scenes where the good guys meet the bad guys and they begin shooting each other, it's no different than the middle of the film where the same type of fights happen. When you're about to do the final fight scene, it's supposed to be epic, but the level of fight scene in the third part of the film is no different than the fight scene in the middle section of the film. It's like the movie thinks that if you add more blood and more bullets and more casualties, that is the climax. But a climax is supposed to have like a sort of heightened emotional impact. But this one just didn't have that. I felt like the fight scenes that I watched in the middle of the film and the fight scenes that were at the end of the film were kind of on the same level. And as a result, I give this movie a 5 out of 10. When the movie was done, I just realized that this film is just another piece of content for Netflix. It had no themes. It had nothing to say. The film had nothing to say. It was just your generic, evil city with corrupt politicians and drug dealers. I mean, right now, Tom Hardy is in a series called Mobland. So I was like, how is this movie any different from watching Mobland? It's just your generic evil city with corrupt officials, corrupt policemen, drug dealer stuff. You've seen all this before, but now they're trying to add more action, more blood, more gore. I don't know, so that you can just waste 2 hours watching it and switch off your brain. The movie is very brain dead. It's a watch stuff on your screen exploding and blood, but it really doesn't mean anything. At the end of the day, I think this movie was just made for the DEI. I think it was just made for diversity, equity, and inclusion, because you have Tom Hardy who's white, you have Forest Whitaker who's black, and then the son is black, and then the triad members are Asian and Chinese. And I'm like, that's probably why the film exists, just for DEI, usual Netflix DEI stuff. Anyway, if you enjoyed my review, make sure to smash like and subscribe. It's a watchable film, but it's just a low tier streaming film. That's the way I would rank it. On the screen, I'll leave other reviews I've done. I'll see you in the next one.